Almost everyone knows about one major roller coaster opening in 2021. This could be from their knowledge of the home park, or just the word of enthusiasts spreading all over. The spreading only covers the best and most anticipated roller coasters out there. This would be like Iron Gwazi, Pantheon, and Velocicoaster. Okay, let's face it, that's a pretty good top 3, but there are so many more coasters opening next year. To me, some are flying under the radar and need to be talked about a lot more. This is going to be my top 5 coasters opening in 2021 that deserve a lot more hype. Let's get into it. One more thing before I get into the list. This particular list is only for US parks. I might do a part 2 to cover parks outside of the US. It may be a little harder because I do not know exactly what the hype is in the rest of the world. It would be a fun project though, and I'm willing to give it a try. Okay, starting it off with number 5. There is Aquaman Power Wave at Six Flags Over Texas. This coaster is a Power Splash model manufactured by Mach Rides. It was originally set to open in 2020, but got pushed back to 2021. Aquaman might not be the most exciting addition to the park, but it is the first of its kind to come to America. It will be one of only a couple in the world and will feature a turntable-style station, which is pretty unique. This should be building up some hype, yet there is little talk about this coaster. At the number 4 spot, I have a tie between a pair of clones. The first clone is Dragon Slayer at Adventureland. This is a 4D free spin made by S&S. Multiple clones can be found of this around the Six Flags chain and among other parks. Originally, there was a lot of hype when the coaster was unannounced. The community was raving about trying to figure out the ride type and layout. Since the initial buzz, the coaster has seemed to die off. Even though these rides can be found at a lot of different locations, 4D free spins are a big hit among the public. Getting more people through the gates will be huge for a park like this, and will allow them to make bigger and badder rides in the future. This is going to be a major addition to this growing amusement park, which should definitely be talked about more. The second clone fitting in at the number 4 spot is Stunt Pilot at Silverwood Theme Park. This is a Raptor model from Rocky Mountain Construction. These things are popping up all over the place, and for good reason. They look absolutely amazing, and I would be pleased if one of these was coming to my home park. Raptor models have great speed and intensity, and an unbeatable price. Stunt Pilot is additionally intriguing due to its theme. It's paying homage to the original stunt shows of Silverwood. Plus it has a really nice color scheme, being red and white. Again, this coaster has a good initial buzz, but seemed to die down due to other major roller coaster announcements and updates. Both Dragon Slayer and Stunt Pilot are going to be big additions that need to be talked about more. Coming in at the halfway point, number 3 is Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. Like Stunt Pilot, this is an RMC Raptor, but it features a custom layout. It is the first ever Raptor to have a custom layout, featuring a very narrow footprint and 3 inversions. And like Aquaman, its opening date was pushed back to 2021. This coaster looked like it was going to be a huge success for Six Flags, and the public seemed to really be hyped up. Since the shutdown and the completion of construction, the hype has seemed to die down. This is probably from the lack of news from the coaster. If you look at a coaster like the Velocicoaster, updates are still coming out from testing to theming. Jersey Devil is on the flip side of this, where nothing new has come out from the park. For what Jersey Devil is offering, this coaster undoubtedly deserves some more hype. I think here is a good spot to throw in an honorable mention. Originally, I was going to include Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando at this point in the video. This is a Premier Rides creation that had its opening date pushed back to 2021. I felt like this ride deserved more hype as it was going to do wonders for the park's lineup. In the beginning, there was a good amount of construction updates and speculations for the coaster. Those have since died down as coasters like the Velocicoaster and Iron Gwazi are taking the spotlight in Florida. I took it off the list though, due to the recent virtual POV released by the park. This has restored some of the hype and therefore given the coaster a little bit more popularity than the others on this list, so I had no choice but to take it off. Another coaster that was set to open in 2020 but got pushed back to 2021 comes in at the number 2 spot. Emperor at SeaWorld San Diego is a B&M dive coaster. It's not a record breaker of any sort, but it sits in a unique situation. SeaWorld San Diego has a height restriction that made this coaster especially hard to make possible. Due to this restriction, Emperor will be the tallest coaster in the park and the only dive coaster in the area. Scratch that, the only dive coaster on the west coast of America. Besides, who does not love the theme of penguins diving, which fits so well on a dive coaster and at a SeaWorld park? This should definitely be building up some buzz, but it has since been lost in the sea of new coaster announcements and updates. Before I get to the last coaster on the list, remember that I am not everywhere. This means that the hype that I see on a day-to-day basis may not be the hype in your area. I try to consider everything to make this list as fair as possible. With that being said, what do you think is the number 1 coaster on the list? Tell me your guess in the comments below. Without further ado, the number 1 coaster opening in 2021 that deserves more hype is Primordial at Lagoon. This park is becoming a bucket list destination. This addition is crazy for a park of this magnitude. You would think something like this would be seen at Disney or a Universal Park. The closest comparison to this that I know of is Wonder Mountain's Guardian at Canada's Wonderland. Just imagine that coaster redone in 2020 with all new technology. It would be absolutely insane. This coaster does not have that much information on it that I know of. I was unable to find an announcement video or official concept. This could be contributing to the low hype of the coaster, but seeing this massive show building should be building up some major hype. So that is my top 5 coasters opening next year that deserve more hype. What coaster do you think should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.